Hi, welcome. In this video, I want to talk about mind versus body. And when I talk about the interaction-based methodology, this is really where it comes into emphasizing technique over physical strength or physical force that way. And kind of the example I use, again, when I'm describing, mind over body, okay, and, the role of influence, okay, by way of changing perceptions of dogs, and looking at the process itself as a type of power play, but how that type of power play isn't meant to be the type of power play that's meant to create high conflict with the dog. And so again, I talk about mind versus body. Example I use is the tug of war team, okay, that collapses or gives way. So if you ever watched a game of tug of war between two teams, opposing teams, and you pay attention, you watch. I mean, if you're really paying attention, you'll see the other team start to buckle. Okay, usually it's certain members in that team. You'll see them start to you start to see them give way. Okay, as the other team is pulling, they're starting to give, okay, under the weight of, or under the just the level of of influence happening, okay, through the line, okay, through the rope. But you pay attention, you'll see that buckling start to happen, and that really aligns with this system, okay, how influence, the role of influence by way of how you're interacting by way of the role of influence. It's a buckling. But then again, that goes into this issue again of being dialed in. Okay, when I talk about being dialed in such a way through this interaction-based approach, where again, it's about depth of relationship. Okay, it's about the mind of the dog. Okay, versus physical force. And again, this is where people can get themselves put in a position of getting of high conflict with a dog, when you see them asserting influence onto a dog in such a way where it really brings on a level of challenge. And one of the examples, again, if you watch me interacting with dogs and I talk about technique versus making it personal in physical force, is even in terms of how you bend your elbow. Okay, if you pay attention to how I'm applying the down, asserting influence, I'm leaning. Okay, I'm locking my, you'll see me, I'm locking my elbow in, I'm locking my shoulder in, and I'm leaning. Therefore, I'm not making it personal. Okay, it's just about technique. Versus, understand, as soon as you start to bend that elbow, and start to kind of, as you watch someone bend their elbow, now it's become personal, and now it becomes about physical force. Okay, that's not what this system of training is about. Okay, it's about the mind. And again, great example is it came from just coming from a session here right now, helping a individual in terms of service dog training, where she physically, okay, she's not able to apply that type of physical force, even if she wanted to, in terms of bending the elbow, and she couldn't do it. But again, in terms of her dog and this type of power play scenario, I showed her how to do it, okay, in terms of the mind. Okay, and again, using that tug of war type of example, okay, where everything kind of funnels that way, we're making it about technique, and very successful in terms of of the dog responding, the dog coming into agreement. It's like re-signing a contract, I call it. So my encouragement to people is really think about a process. Again, I talk about the role of influence within a process, why it is necessary, but when I talk about influence, it's not the type of influence that's meant to be over the top, meant to create high conflict, okay, with a dog. It's all about technique, okay, versus, again, what's popular. I talk about the theme of, bribery, accommodation, and negotiation, in terms of the context of agreeableness and the issue by way, again, of relationship, changing perceptions of dogs the right way. So again, all those themes are there. So again, I encourage, really, if you're looking for information, check out my website. I have lots of great information. When you're watching my videos, those are things to kind of pay attention to. And I talk through a lot of this in terms of helping people understand, the role of influence, a process, why it is all about technique. Thanks for watching.